Hello? 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 Oh, sorry, my OBS just decided to not load anything. Hi. Thank you for checking in, Weetabix, and hello, Curlotus. Since I'm feeling better today, I just wanted to do kind of a random just chatting. Oh, thank you for checking in, Curlotus. I was sick all weekend. I had a nice 3-day weekend that was just wasted in bed. The downfall was when I had to go into the office last week, and I was surrounded by so many people, and then immediately after I got sick. I know, that's not, I don't really think I got sick from being out that one time in a large crowd, because that's not how sicknesses work. But I'm going to believe that I got sick from that one outing, and I'll never going back into the office ever again. That's exactly the causation. But yeah, after I went into the office, I usually work from home for my microbe duties in the day job. Hi, Contour Show. Hello. I usually work from home but last week I had to go in office because we had a big poster presentation, and it was mandatory. It was my year that I had to go present what our group does to the rest of the department. And it was really fun, but I was yapping for 8 hours straight to other people about our project. Hi, Zeno. Hi. Now I felt so drained. Talking to people in person for 8 hours is so draining, especially when they're way higher up than you. They weren't just colleagues. If they were colleagues that that are on the same level as me, it's not so bad. But when they're kind of higher up than me, and I have to tell them, yes, my department, my project is worth keeping around. Please keep me higher. Don't let me lose my job. Please don't fire me. It's so tiring. And then the poster presentation was just telling them what we do, and then they went okay, are you guys planning on implementing this or this? How about this? Are you thinking about doing this? Next time this one? And then I have to go do that again. I have to go do that again this weekend even. Except it's gonna be even bigger because it's not my department. It's with a giant conference. Big giant conference this weekend. I think the conference I'm going to this weekend is the largest cancer conference. Conference size. 50,000 people. Surrounded by 50,000 people. Oh my god. But I wanted to hang out with you guys. Since I was just rotting away in bed for 3 days, I literally would wake up, do a little bit of work on my laptop, and then go back to sleep. Oh, thank you for checking in, Contortion. Thank you for checking in, Zeno. Sounds exhausting. It's exhausting, but then also fun in a way. I think it would be hard for me to give up a job working with other scientists, because there's something kind of exhilarating about working with people that are just intellectually stimulating. What did you think about the team I built for you? I wanted to hear your opinions on it. Oh, I didn't get a good I've been so busy working through things. Hold on. I looked at the team at a glance, and I was like, oh my gosh, so you made me a team? You made me a Pokemon team? I just want to say that is the nicest thing and coolest thing I've gotten And I really appreciate that, Kantosho. Hold on, maybe I can like pull. Well, how would be a good way to pull this up on stream? Maybe let me open these in browser. You can pull up the, yeah, I'm trying to pull up the images. I'm trying to pull up the images without like, because they're all on Discord, so let me hold on. I'm doing the thing of opening them. Discord's being really stupid and I really hate how it wants to open these very slowly. Yeah, I was gonna put them in Clip Studio because that would be the easiest way for me to show it off. So for context, Kantosho made a Pokemon team based off of me. I want to share it. We can go over it. Why is... My goodness, my PC is not very happy. I'm like opening things up and it's like, why are you opening things up? New... no, not that. It's like... Okay. I gotta resize these two. Some of these Pokemon are like some of my favorites, and I'll even go over. Let me... Oh! Did it work, the autoclave function? It's kind of working. I haven't tested it yet. Oh! I'm getting sucked away. Okay, it did work. It did work properly. I was working on that while I was sick. I like how it turned out. Okay, that function, I forgot I made it and it's like available to use. But yes, you can autoclave me now. It surprisingly, it was really, really hard to do that. It takes so many steps and like functions to actually have it play the animation, move my model, and then like make it disappear. There's some like kinks I need to work out, like the autoclave gets stuck a bit, or like it gets cut off a bit, but I'm pretty happy with it. And also there's some more sound effects I want to do with it, but hold on. Where's paint? Paint. Moving. We're moving. Oh, I'm off screen now. Hello, excuse me. Hello. Okay, this is only 3 of them. So this was the team that Kantosho made for me. Well, parts of it. I gotta move it because you guys can't see anything. Hold on. This Pikachu, hold on. There you go. This Pikachu, I didn't even know this Pikachu existed. And I love this Pikachu so much. It's become... I've only known this Pikachu's existence for like 2 seconds, and it's now my favorite Pokemon of all time. It looks just like me. But... minus no pink hair, but it's like, it looks just like me. It's lightning wrong, helping hand, agility, magnet rays. Wait, hold on. I can't see. Oh, your notifications? Of course. Hold on. Let me... Nope. I don't know what just happened. Okay, but let me change the image size. Sorry about that. Reuniclus is like, if you don't know, that's like one of my favorite. That's like one of my favorite Pokemon. It's so cute, and it's like, it is the science Pokemon for sure. That, like, you know, the cellular design, it's all that. It's so cute. These two alone, like, already make it an amazing team. Recover, acid armor, iron defense, energy ball. Annoying. What an annoying guy. And I love him for being so annoying. I haven't, like, played Pokemon. Oh, sorry. I haven't played Pokemon in, like, a competitive, like, in a competitive sense in so long. So, like, for me to comment on, like, how good this is offensively, like, if you were to play this, I'm not sure. But I am commenting mostly on, I love these little guys. Let me add some more. I don't remember how to pronounce this guy. There. Oh. Pikachu has agility for helping. I chose attacks for inference. Yeah. I see what you mean. And then you said that this one is based off, like, PPE. Nihiligo. This is a Pokemon, I'll be honest, I didn't know this Pokemon existed. Some of the later Nihiligo. Interesting. I didn't know that this Pokemon existed. This is out of my scope, my realm of, like, knowledge, because when you get into the more, like, when you get into Sun and Moon was something I was pretty checked out of, I'll be honest. I know a few of the Ultra Beasts, but I was really checked out of Sun and Moon, so, like, things from that generation are just, like, not in my brain download when it comes to Pokemon. But I love it. I love this guy. I've only known this guy for, like, 2 seconds as before, and I'm in love. It's such a fun design. The Ultra Beasts that I do know of, I don't know their names, but I know how they look visually in my brain if I, like, think about it. Like, is that guy an Ultra Beast? I think it's an Ultra Beast. The guy that looks like, he's kind of like I don't know what I'm drawing. I'm sure if I can't draw it. You remember yeah, I do remember Generation 6. They have wrap for wrapping around your head. Oh! That's cute. Yeah, Generation 6. Generation 6 is the one I probably, like, that is where I was, like, my peak check-in. Or at least, no, I'll say, like, yeah, that was, like, my peak checked into Pokemon, and then it started going downhill from there. Like, it was, like, steady until Gen 6, and then afterwards, I've, like, shot all the way down. Endure for enduring the evil bacteria. Hold on. Wrap, endure, protect, substitute. Oh, that's so... Yeah. Oh my gosh, you're good, Curlotus. That is the one I was trying to draw. And I was, like, trying to think of how it looked, and then I was like, I don't got it. I can't express what I'm thinking of. Let me get the rest. Boop. This is Volcanion. I don't remember this guy that much. Yeah, it's like spiky. I don't remember Volcanion that much, except for the fact it was really annoying because it's a fire-water Pokemon. Water absorb, steam eruption, hydro pump, incinerate. Incinerate and Brick Break. This one was definitely the autoclave, right? This is like, yeah, Volcanion is Gen 6. This is like a genius like autoclave one. He's autoclave and incinerator. Yeah. This is so good because autoclaves are like generally steam based, water, fire, steam. I love this idea. Also, he kind of like the water ring look. He kind of looks like the things you have in like water baths to keep your bottles from not going under. Like you'd have to put this on like your beaker that's sitting in a water bath so it doesn't like knock over. That's also what it reminded me of, and I like that. He's also retrieving people from fires like a firefighter. Let's see. Next one. Hey, why don't you wanna paste? And then we have Radadadadada, which is clearly Hydro Beam is for eye washing. I don't know if you want to eye wash with Hydro Beam, but I'll give it to them. I'll give it to them that maybe you do want to do that. Water reserve so fungi don't form. It's so genius. You actually have everything thought out. I need to figure out a context in which I can play these guys. Maybe we need to play maybe a modern some modern kind of Pokemon game that has everyone. Or maybe we do Pokemon Showdown. The Rattata is the least thought out. It's okay. It's a mouse. Dig, attract, screech, tail whip. Yeah, that's kind of basically what a mouse did. Modern Pokemon wouldn't have everyone, just Showdown. Yeah, I guess it would just be Showdown. But then, oh my gosh, you do not want to watch me play Showdown. That would be the most unfun thing ever. I like Attract. Attract on the Rattata is really funny. And then the last one. The last one is the Audino. I love Audino so much. Audino is so cute. The hearing Pokemon. Healer. Heal Pulse, Workup, Hyper Voice, Calm Mind. It's actually like a good set. Audino is just so adorable. Honestly, I want to be as cute as the Audino. Anyway, this is such a wonderful Pokemon team. I have to figure. I really want to do something with this. So I have this in my back pocket for something. Audino is a healing guy. Hyper Voice for calling out Calm Mind in case of accident. Exactly. You need to have the Calm Mind, but then also the really loud voice in case something does happen. You gotta call out the accidents. You also have to be calm. You have to be calm-minded about it. It's not a good team. It's not a good team, but it's my team. It's my team, so I'm very happy about it, and I thank you again. Let me go back to thematically. Thematically, it's amazing. Okay, let's go back to chit-chatting. I mean, yeah, I really appreciate that. Stuff like that makes me so happy. When I was sick, like recovering, and I was just like, where's the Skunk Tank though? I do love Skunk Tank, but Skunk Tank can also just be the mascot. I was actually like cleaning up a bit today since I had to take on a lot of errands that I was putting off this weekend because I was sick. And I found my Skunk Tank sweater, and it was like really, really messed up. But then I was like, I can't throw away my Skunk Tank sweater, even though like the text is all appealing and the image is all appealing, because I think I got it off Redbubble, and you know how Redbubble is. If you've ever ordered any clothing off that, the images are like printed so poorly. but I just love Skunk Tank. I would. It's too bad. I think he's so unpopular. Like I don't. Anytime I've tried to find like official merch for it, it's not. It's really hard to find anything. I just love my stinky skunk boy. My stinky exploding skunk boy. Skunk Tank for studying antibodies, antivenoms. He can just be the stinky lab mascot, just representing how smelly labs are. I was so sad when there was nothing for removing poison. That was such a good move for them. Yeah, that would have been really, really good. I think the idea of making like thematic. I really like thematic Pokemon teams. Like even if they don't have to be good or anything, I just think it's kind of like an art form to make something using Pokemon to like kind of create that kind of. It's kind of like an illustration in a way. That reminds me, I wanna I don't have a stream schedule this week, as like you can tell because I just randomly decided to start streaming on a Tuesday, evening. But when I get back from my conference, I travel on Friday and I get back Tuesday. I get back next Tuesday. And then I guess I probably won't have a schedule again next week. Oh yeah, Inlord Neolingo kind of uses a villain called Lucini. Oh, I kind of vaguely remember this. I think I vaguely know this because I've absorbed a lot of like Pokemon discussion online and just recognize name. Skuntank and Chandler don't really match the theme. Just remember they were favorites, I think. Yeah. I just like those guys. I just like them. They don't really match the theme. I could definitely like make an annoying showdown team with some of my favorites, but then it's not really very thematic. Chandler would be that one lab torch. I forgot the name. Oh, a lab torch. I don't know that. I don't know it off the top of my head. The Bunsen burner. Oh yeah, it's the Bunsen burner. It's kind of a big Bunsen burner. Maybe I think Litwick would be probably more appropriate. But yeah, I wanna play Pokemon. Maybe I'll do like, but I don't think I want to do a modded Pokemon run on my stream yet. But maybe I'll just play. I kind of want to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I think that will be something to add to my stream schedule next week. Stream schedule, quote unquote. It will be like I will just show up. I'll just show up, and next week because I'll be like gone for half of the week because of conferences. But I'll probably show up next week and I'll play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon because I've kind of been wanting to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I really like those games and I haven't played them in a while. Maybe the GBA ones. I really want to play Fantasy Life, but I don't know. Okay, I think my computer. I really need to do something about upgrading my PC. Not stream schedule, stream suggestions. Yeah, stream suggestions. I do want to play Pokemon Emerald, but I think for now it'll probably be. I just kind of want to play Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I want to play something narrative. Ow! I hit my hand on my desk. I want to play something narrative focused, and that's why I want to do Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. It's kind of narrative-y. I finished Expedition 33 this weekend, and it really made me cry. And now it's like I have a narrative-shaped hole in my heart, and I want to play more narrative games. There's some ROMs that have good stories. Oh, yeah, like Pokemon modded ROMs. Oh, there's some just like or not even Pokemon related. There's so many games I want to play, but I think my PC is kind of cooked for a lot of games right now. Every game I've tried to like do a mock stream with my model, like with VTubing and the PC on, and then like and streaming, and it's so bad. I really have to like, I think, make some upgrades. I think CPU and my CPU and graphics card, or I should say lack of graphics card, because I right now I just have an integrated graphics card. It's just my CPU carrying, my CPU's carrying the whole world on its back right now. So I have to like probably consider doing some minor upgrades if I want to do any more game streaming. Well, I want to like, some games shouldn't, I feel like some games shouldn't be so like demanding, but for some reason my computer just like has an aneurysm whenever I play it and like have model and then also the stream, and yeah, it's so annoying. I haven't tried, I guess I haven't tried how it works with the PC cloud gaming. But the problem is, a lot of the games I wanted to play, they're not on the cloud gaming services. Like, I wanted to play 2 Point Museum, but 2 Point Museum's not there. And also, I think I might be running out of cloud gaming hours, and I don't know if I want to, credit card swipe another $15. What the world we live in, where I have to pay subscription fees for everything. You can't own services, and things are capped at like hours, and then you have to pay more money. It's expensive world. I think it's still cheaper though than buying like PC parts though, so it's kind of how I've been like playing any kind of games. Pokemon Odyssey and Pokemon Unknown sound like good ones. Another one with a long story is Pokemon Elysium. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste that into a notepad. I do recommend ROM stuff. They're also free. Yeah, for sure. The thing is, like, I can definitely at least play those. They're like they are very lightweight and easy on my PC. When I start playing like anything else, it starts going downhill real fast. My computer starts going, uh-oh, what do you think you're doing 5 things at once? We're not gonna play that game lag free. No siree. Oh, maybe I can play, maybe we can add Mother 3 to the rotation. That one will make me cry though. Even though I've played Mother 3 like 10 times, I'll like cry again. I don't mind crying on stream because I'm reading peak narrative. You hear about all this stuff with the Switch too, like you don't really own anything, you just get game keys, and even if you buy the physical copy, yeah, I did hear that. It's kind of insane. It truly feels like you don't own anything. You really don't own anything in current day. Like, if you read the terms of services in almost any kind of like live service game, it's mostly like you spend any money and buy something, and it's just considered you're licensing the usage of it, but it's not yours. It's pretty insane. It's sad that like this is the state of things, and it's even like it's like not even in just games. It's like with any product. The other day while I was making the autoclave channel point redeem, I was having such like, I was in my bed on my laptop going insane because I couldn't find a way to export the video I was working on, the autoclave, as a WebM, because the video editor I use, which is CapCut, didn't have a function to export as a WebM, and you really needed to export it as a WebM because I needed the alpha channel, which is the transparency. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just see if I can find like another like video editor, maybe something free to use, because I don't want to pay for another video editor considering I pay a subscription for CapCut. And then I went to like all these other video editing like trials, and they're like, nope, you can't export without like paying our subscription fee. And it was just bonkers. Like, I was like, I can't do anything. You can't do anything without paying money. I just wanted to export as a WebM. It was insane how difficult that was to find anything for. I remember losing your 2-point stream and then going to watch it and seeing short, and I was like, dang, what happened? Yeah, everything, that stream was so frustrating. I know I could have done something else, but I was like, I'm so frustrated. I'm over it. I'm over like my PC being like doo-doo and like not wanting to run anything. I'm just gonna end stream and we'll figure something out next time. And I was like, it's okay. I was hoping it was on GeForce Now to see if I could play that using the cloud services, but it's not on it. But 2-Point Hospital is, and I might try doing a 2-Point Hospital stream. Hospital is kind of more bacteria related, to be fair. It was just because I've played a lot of 2-Point Hospital, but I don't mind playing more 2-Point Hospital. I do love 2-Point Hospital. I mean, it's Nintendo, so what are you gonna do? Yeah, Nintendo's super shitty, like, completely anti-consumer. That's why people sail the high seas. Yeah, it's just so sucky. I think there was a time I pirated that I've pirated like as a kid because I didn't have access to, like, I didn't have money and I wanted like these services. And then I finally am an adult and I have money, and I was happily paying money to all these products and services and games and whatever. And then suddenly we switched to subscription services. Now I'm paying like, the other day I was like looking at my bank statements, and it was insane. I like looking at how many things I pay monthly. It adds up so fast. And it's just for allegedly you were a child. Yes, allegedly I was a child. And it's like I just paid. I pay for like workouts. Like I pay for like a fitness app to like have workouts, and I pay for like streaming services, and I pay for like video editing services, and I pay for like Live 2D, and Live 2D is like, it's like a yearly service, but it's like you might as well count it monthly. The yearly might as well just be monthly. I pay for like art programs. It's just like how I'm losing so much money every month. It's just getting drained out of me. When can I own things again? Can someone like give me the keys to something already? Yeah, in shitification is like so insane. It's frustrating. I just don't get it. I don't get it. I'm guessing these companies, I can't imagine how much money these companies are making. There's like, I'm not like even, I would say, broke. I can afford a lot of these subscriptions, but there's some subscriptions I'm like, I don't know who is like buying these services. Like Adobe must be like, the only people buying that must be like companies. I have no idea how you're able to like afford that if you're a freelancer individual. Are you from the Europe or US? Yeah, I'm from the US. Europe definitely has way stricter piracy laws though. US is they try to be strict. And they can like easily slap your hand though if you're doing something naughty without any kind of protection. Protection, for the lack of better word. I remember like I had a friend say they were allegedly pirating something, and then the moment the download finished, they got an email from their internet, internet provider allegedly saying like, "Hey, don't do that." The moment it was like the instant the download finished, they got that. We thought that was really funny. But then I was like, "Yeah, you dummy, you allegedly just downloaded something raw on your PC without like any kind of VPN. Silly person." Listening to this song, I want to play Cooking Mama. But I think it's kind of... I don't really like DS emulation. I have to like... I think I don't... It's just I have to make a whole new scene for it. Ow, I keep hitting my mic. I have to make like a... Yeah, I like how we're saying like it's... Yeah, you have to cover your bases, you know, allegedly. Perhaps. I've heard from a friend sometimes. Maybe. DS emulation is just kind of annoying because I have to... But there's so many fun DS games. I really want to play Professor Layton games. Gosh, there's so many fun games. Maybe until we do the PC upgrades, like... Because I don't think the PC upgrades are happening for anytime soon. We're just gonna be like, quote-unquote, retro gaming. Retro gaming ROMs. Those are like way easier for me to get by with. Pokemon Black White 2 has one of the best stories IMO. I really did like Pokemon Black and White, though I can't... I'll be honest, you asked me to like explain it to you. I don't really remember what happened. I just remember I really enjoyed it, so maybe it is time for like a replay of that. Adding it to the list. Or add it into the list. We got a lot of games on this list now. I want like things to stop happening. But I don't mean it in like a bad way. I'm happy things are happening, but I'm just so busy. But I just want to sit down and play games on stream. I just want to play a bunch of like old games on stream and do nothing and sit here. But they're making me get up. They're making me talk to the people. They're making me talk to people and talk about the sciences. And see, Jackbox would be cool as well since we have a small community stuff. Yeah, I'd like to do some community games and community nights in the future. I just know right now I'm kind of like, the summer is always really busy for me because of like conferences and stuff. But since our community is growing very, very slowly, it would be nice to do like Jackbox games. I would like to do a movie night eventually. And I want to do Scriblio. Season depression. You know, the funny thing is, I'm like the happiest I am because the winter is usually when I'm so super depressed because I need the sunlight to I need sunlight to thrive. This bacteria needs vitamin D, or else she'll shrivel up and die. But I'm the happiest have ever been, but I'm also super busy. I think after this conference this weekend, things will lighten up a bit. I think. I hope. Maybe. Perhaps. Maybe not. I don't know. But well... Are there bacteria that thrive in the dark? I don't know. Surely there must be. Let's see. I was like, my thought would be stuff like cyanobacteria but it's not like they really thrive in the dark. It's just more like they're found underground. But I guess like you could say they're thriving because they can technically survive without all that light, and it's not a necessity. Let's see. Bacteria that thrive in the dark. Several types of bacteria can thrive in dark environments. Yeah, it looks like cyanobacteria. Extremophiles that live in freaking rocks are so cool. They are. It's just like how. I think their names aren't their names just cool. They're extreme. They're extremophiles. They're the extreme. They're extremely living. Pseudomonas, Legionella, common colon. I guess that's yeah. Looks like there's quite a few. I guess, but it's not like again, it's not like the lack of light is the thing keeping them like going. It's just they can in fact live without the light if necessary. Does your knowledge extend to Archaea? Since most external and Archaea, my knowledge on Archaea is not the like greatest, but I know a bit about it. I feel like that's like a topic you don't really hear too much about. Like I didn't learn much about it in school. But yeah, most extremophiles are in Archaea. Yeah. I bought this iced tea from the grocery store before I started stream. I went on a nice little walkie walk to clear my head. You know, be mentally healthy. I hope all of you take nice walks every now and then. And I absorb some sunlight. And then I went to the grocery store and picked up this grape iced tea, and it's so sweet. Like it's like sickeningly sweet. I can like take one sip and I want to like I should have gotten water alongside it. I said I was getting water, but then I grabbed the grape iced tea and I was like that's good enough, right? And it's so gross. It's not gross, but it's like that's what it's making me feel like right now. I just know they exist. Don't know the difference. Don't know what difference they have from prokaryotes, and if any. I'm trying to think. There's no differences because I think. I mean, they're both. Archaea is a prokaryote. Yeah, they're prokaryotic, I guess. I'm just sorry. I'm like really trying to dig deep into my brain here. Gotta balance out the. They're prokaryotic. Yeah, they're prokaryotic. Archaea they are, right? Yeah, archaea are a domain of single-celled prokaryotic organisms. Again, my knowledge in this is like limited. I did the health walking was nice. Grape iced tea, not so nice. A bacteria that dislikes excessive sugar. I love sugary drinks, mind you. I love them. This is like so sugary, but I think it's because this is 0 calories, so it's like the artificial sweeteners. And you know, like the artificial sweeteners are like really, really sweet, like excessively sweet. Reminds me of boba places asking for percent sweetness. Yeah, this is like 100% sweetness. I've never had this brand before. Bosong Hoja iced tea. It's Korean. Shine muscat. Shine muscat flavor. Am I thinking of something else? I forgot the name of non-archaea prokaryotes. I think Archaea are what you're thinking of. You're thinking of extremophiles because Archaea were like they're like in the hot springs and such. I'm not sure though. Maybe I'm just wrong, or maybe I'm like maybe I'm misunderstanding something here. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe there's something to learn here. Let's look into this. Archaea. Prokaryotic. Prokaryotes. Bacteria, archaea, and early life on Earth. This is like some professor's like biology homework website. I don't care. I was. That's a paper from 1981. Are you able to speak people's names in Hangul? I can read Hangul and I could write it. My Korean knowledge is very basic beginner. The Hangul is good for, so I'm asking you. I am a forever student. So I always hate calling myself a master or like an expert at something because I always feel like there's something to learn because, there's so many details when it comes to this kind of information. Cell biology of archaea. Yeah, it looks like archaea are unicellular prokaryotic microorganisms. They are, in fact, prokaryotic. They resemble bacteria, but they are not bacteria. I think Hangul is like the coolest coolest written language. If you didn't know, like Hangul is like written Korean, and it's like the most genius form of writing ever, because their king, the king of Korea at the time, he needed to improve literacy rates because their system was based on like Chinese, like Chinese character system, which if you are familiar with that, it's pretty complicated. It's very symbolic, like, one word, one symbol equal one word. And so if you don't know what that symbol means, you don't know what that word means. And then they changed it to their current system, which is Hangul, and literacy rates like shot up to like 90% plus. It's like the simplest written language system you could learn. I learned how to read Hangul in like 3 hours or so. And like, of course, like reading it is very different than understanding what you're reading, but it's pretty nice to be able to pronounce what, like, you can like get a glance at what you're looking at and you're like, oh, that's what it is. Hi, Ripco. Thank you for checking in. It's really, I would like recommend learning Hangul if you ever just want to like feel accomplished about doing something in a day. People who are experts will say, oh, I can always learn more, and they've seen how computer to have all data. Yeah, like, I think it's like, because when you, I feel like acknowledging this is like, no, I'm not trying to say I'm an expert or anything, but when you are like really deep into a subject or topic, you can like, you just start to go, oh my gosh, this topic and subject is so, it's like there's so much information in it. It's like, how can I call myself an expert when I know there's just all this breadth of information out there that I'm not fully aware of? You really just like, I don't know, you're kind of like awoken to like, I have so much more to learn. But yeah, I get what you mean. Like, as in, like, when you're not an expert, your pool of knowledge is shallow. You just go, oh, like, yeah, I'm an expert. I know everything. I am by at work, building alarm going off, and I'm running around like a head's trying to shut it off. Oh my gosh, I am by to you. I am by to you. Good luck shutting it off, the alarm. That reminds me, like, speaking of being like a headless chicken at work, I think I was off of work on Friday because I was sick and resting up. And then I was like checking my work Slack messages to see what was going on, and at like they were like, because I saw that there was like notifications going off at like 7 p.m. and I was like, huh, why are they talking at 7 p.m.? It looks like there was like a fire, like quote unquote fire, like metaphorical fire going on at work. And I was like, oh, they're trying to figure out what's going on and they're trying to like solve problems at 7 a.m. Good thing that's not me. Good thing that's not me. Then I went back to sleep. Not my problem. I was off today. I definitely didn't contribute to anything that could have caused a fire at work. That's exactly how experts say it. Yeah. I feel like there's almost like something sad if you could say like you know everything about a subject. Like that's it. That's all there is to know about that subject. There's nothing more for you to learn. That's sad to me. Cause like learning is like usually the fun part of anything. Sorry, I'm eating like a mochi. It's so hard when I go to the grocery store. I have something in mind that I want to pick up, and what I wanted to pick up today was some fruit. I picked up some mangoes and then some frozen strawberries. And then I also picked up the green iced tea, and then I picked up a mochi. The way the grocery stores are lined up for me to pick up snacks as I go, it's diabolical. It's diabolical. How am I supposed to resist the tasty snacks when they're like right in front of me? It's cool how most of the time a person who specializes super deeply into something is sometimes the only source of almost all information on that very specific subject. I think that's like the coolest part of a PhD is like this, like when you get a PhD, usually you are the one who's contributed so much information, perhaps maybe the only information in this incredibly niche topic. You hold like the key to this teeny tiny world, and that's like amazing to me. That was like a huge appeal for when I wanted to do my PhD. I was like, I want to like hold the key to knowledge of this and be the expert of this incredibly niche topic. It turns out that is a huge burden, and it's a lot harder. Like it's a lot of work. What flavor is the mochi? I think it's just white. It's white with red bean. So it's not flavored. It's not really, the mochi itself isn't really flavored. It's just red bean, sweet red bean inside. I like the flavored mochi, but I think there's something nice about the ones that don't have anything. They don't have really anything going on except the red bean inside. But I always hear mixed opinions. I don't know if people like red bean or not. I really like red bean. But I also grew up eating red bean like my whole life. But I know I have friends who are like, who find red bean massively unappealing. Also way too sweet for them. Then I think, what are you eating the mochi with? And I learned a lot of people just eat the mochi ice cream. They don't eat the normal mochi. PhD in microbiology of red ant species complexes gut microbiome. Yeah, exactly. The most niche, nobody cares except you. I really felt that, like, I can say like my PhD topic was going to be about the immune, like the aging immune cell population in rat adipose tissue, and that's like, whoa, that's like a who cares. It was really just like I was kind of alone writing about this. Even my PI was like, I don't know much about this topic. I'm not gonna lie. I think red bean is good. It's an acquired taste. I'm Brazilian, so bean as sweet felt horrible. Yeah, I guess it's a bit of acquired taste. It's like, I mean, it's not okay. It's really sweet right now, and I don't even have anything to wash down the sweetness. Is a big problem right now. I was just going to reach for my iced tea because I was like, oh, it's so sweet. My mouth is like, and then I was like, if I reach for the iced tea, it's nothing's gonna help. That's okay. This is my own the consequences of my own actions for not filling up my water before I started stream. For picking up the iced tea instead of the water, I must hang my head for shame. What is your favorite scientific topic? My favorite topic is microbiology, but unfortunately I can't say like that's not even my most knowledgeable topic. It's my favorite topic. I think it's the most interesting, but I think that I'm most knowledged in immunology and cancer biology because that's just what I've been able to do research on and where I work at currently. But microbiology just has a special place in my heart for making me go, wow, science is so cool. I love science. It's just my breadth of knowledge there is like the smallest. Not the smallest, but I just don't have as much professional like work experience in that regard. Translating the aging of the fat cells of rats. Also biology. Yeah, I like biology. If we want to make it broad enough, it's just biology in general. Promethean girl dinner. Translate aging of the fats. Yeah. So it was like it's even more specific than that. It would be aging of the immune cells that reside in the fat tissue of rats, which it feels like a mouthful. And then if you want to go, if like even be a little teeny tiny bit more specific, it would be the aging of the B cells in fat tissue of mice. It was quite a challenging project. We didn't even what are B cells? Okay, so B cells, they're a type of immune cell. So they're a type of white blood cell, and they make up antibodies. They're really important part of your immune system and your defense against pathogens and like fighting off anything that's gonna make you sick. The humoral immune system. And so, B cells, what we were looking for is the fact that to get to B cells, well, how else? What's a better way to explain this? So B cells are an immune cell, and they undergo a differentiation pathway, which just is a fancy term to say they turn into a different kind of cell. That's an oversimplification of the matter, but we'll just say like they turn into a different subset of a B cell. And so the project was looking at like when you age, what kind of B cell what kind of B cells are being made in the fat tissue of the old mice versus in the young mice? Like what happened to those B cells? Is that transformation making them lose function? Like are they not able to fight off certain pathogens because of that in the fat? Interesting. My biology knowledge since looking at slides through a microscope in high school. That's it's nice that you were even able to get that kind of experience. We didn't. I definitely came from a high school that did not have even microscopes. I think it's because they couldn't trust people with microscopes at my school. But I think it's like I think having even the experience of looking through microscopes as a high schooler is pretty nice. I feel like it makes you kind of appreciate, whoa, biology is kind of cool. Is there a specific science you like, Stuffies? The cells that can turn into like any other cells, like, oh, do you mean like stem cells and stuff, or like pluripotent cells? They kind of are similar to that in that regard because they do in fact turn into a lot of different kind of cells based on like different responses. or like external stimuli. So like you give them a specific signal and they might turn into something else. And then if you give them a different signal, they might turn into something else. And that's like where the aging part comes in. It's because like what they're getting when the mice start aging, they're getting different signals from all over the body. And what's causing that? What are we driving towards? Which kind of B cell are we driving towards? Oh, yeah. Well, you can like program B cells into like pluripotent stem cells. That it's like requires like a lot of different like factor expression. But yes. But they do develop from stem cells in the bone marrow. And then you could reprogram them back into pluripotent potency. Immunology is so complicated. We would have to like I'm simplifying a lot here, and there's a lot of details I'm missing. Maybe we should do like a nice lesson on immunology one day. Electrical and electronics is pretty cool though. That is definitely far removed from what I am like knowledgeable in. I'm very, very much I've always been more into the what do you call it? Human. Biological. You are definitely talking way above me. I try not to like I don't want to talk above anyone. I try to figure out how to make things simplified, but like, you know, biology is so hard sometimes. It's so complicated to like turn some of these topics into something easy to understand, especially when it comes to like immunology. Immunology is probably like unfortunately like one of the harder sciences to understand because it requires so much like background memorization. So like I can say like B cells are stem cells, and then it's like, well, what's a stem cell? And then you have to kind of understand, like, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep shoveling back and back and back and back and back and back. Electronics is wire hurdy. Wire do hurdy. I do know that. I do know wire hurdy. B cells are less pluripotent. It's complicated, Kontosho. I could do a whole lesson on B cells. That was like one of my for my thesis. I had to do a presentation on like B cells, and I had like a whole like slide on like demonstrating my understanding of B cells, because they were like, well, we can't like approve your project if it's about B cells, you're gonna need to understand B cells. And so I had to do like a whole presentation on like the different pathways on B cells and the factors that like, yeah. Maybe I want to find a lot of my old grad school files. I don't know where I threw them. Immunology has a bunch of different guys that do different stuff in different times. Exactly. Give Kontosho a PhD. That's exactly what I told my thesis advisors. It's I feel like I want to like explore other sciences, like outside of organic sciences, but it just feels like I'm not even like a master at like understanding everything about organic sciences. How am I supposed to have time to learn about all these other cool sciences? Wire hurdy largely depends on the voltage and the impedance of your skin. See, wire doesn't always hurdy. I'm learning. Sorry for pressing about it. I should just wait for you when you do a little immunology class. No, it's fine. I don't really mind explaining. It's just like I have to like really think about how far like think about the steps. It's even though my job primarily nowadays is like cancer biology and immunology, the basics are sometimes far removed, and sometimes you're just lost in the sauce of the more like complicated biology matters. And so you don't think about like, oh, like what is a B cell, you know? But it's good to it's good to always go over this. It's good to like refresh on like what's actually happening. I guess a lot of subjects are just a bunch of guys that do different guys at different times. Unless like functions that do all the same thing all the time. Yeah, I think especially with immunology, and when you're talking about like the context of like immune cells, it's like a complicated matter because like, you know, it's not always activated. They're like sometimes they're activated only in the presence of a bad guy. And then it's like, well, what's the bad guy? And it's like, ooh, the bad guy, ooh, it's the bad guy is like aging related. And then you're like, well, is that really a bad guy? That's like kind of just always happening all the time. It's complicated. But it's cool. That's why I think the reason why it's cool is because it's so complicated and it's so hard to understand. And then it also comes in then it's like, how are we supposed to know all these little interactions? There's so many little guys and little dudes and little things happening all the time. Or maybe not all the time. Sometimes. Maybe not even sometimes. Maybe like barely any of the time. And then it comes to the question of why are we switching to in silico models and the FDA for drug therapeutics? I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't think we know enough about like how the human body's biological pathways work in like complete detail for us to go completely, you know, we're throwing away the animal models and we're just doing modeling, computer modeling. Anyway, that was a tangent rant. that was off tangent. It came into my mind again. It came into my mind. Low voltage cannot overcome the resistance of your skin, but wet skin decreases the resistance, similar to touching a 9-volt battery to your tongue. Oh. See, Steffies, you're above my pay grade when it comes to this stuff. I appreciate, like, I love when people come into my chat to teach me a thing. Because I like learning. I want to teach and I want to learn. That's, like, a big reason why I started streaming. I want, like, a, you know, two-way conversation. I think a really hard immunological system to understand is insect immunology. They're so weak to pretty much any type of microscopic attacks, and they probably have a super complex system just to protect them from everything they are protected from. A 3-minute ad break. Oh no. Insect immunology? That is like... you know, I don't know anything about insect immunology. I'm trying to even, like, think about what's going on in an insect. It's surely, like, is it even similar? Now I'm, like, curious. Hold on. Insect. Now that must be a one that's hard to get, like, grant money for. Because honestly, I can't imagine how you're gonna convince your grant reviewers that you need money to study insect immunology, unfortunately. Unless I guess you can, like, relate it to pesticides and farming. What's a good paper? Insect immunology, memory and specificity. So they do have an innate immune response? I am trying to gain some information about insect immunology, but it seems quite complicated, as you would have imagined. There's not a lot of easily digestible information. Now I'm fascinated. Now I feel like this is something I want to read about. Okay, I see some papers that I want to add into my reading collection, so I'm gonna do that later. We're gonna learn about insect immunology, and I'm gonna come back with you guys. I'm gonna come back to you guys with information about what's going on with an insect. and I'll come back next stream with all the information with and tell you how a bee fights off infections. I think that's what this paper is about. See, I can understand how you can get research funding to do that kind of study, where it's like related to farming in some way. I think if you can like relate your grant money to like food, it's probably gonna be easy. Touchscreens on phones are capacitive. I do know that. They're capacitive. Oh, yeah, welcome back from ads. The TLDR with insect immunology is it looks like it's very, very complex, and I have some papers I bookmarked because I want to learn all about insect immunology now. I have no idea about anything regarding insect immunology. Like I didn't even know if they have an innate and or humoral like adaptive response to like pathogens. Like which is, I guess it's kind of silly in a way. It's not like they're that far removed like from other animals, but it's just like not something I know about. But now I see there's a paper about bee immunology, and I'm gonna read about it later, and I'm gonna tell you guys all about bee immunology next stream. It is pretty complex, but sadly they're very frail to it. They need to clean themselves a lot to survive. Interesting. It's just like their lungs are basically exposed. Yeah, I guess that would make sense too. Insects are like, again, this is like a pretty far from my wheelbarrow of knowledge, but something I like. But it makes sense, like all the things you're saying, like it makes sense why they're frail, and it's also like it's perfectly understandable just from like a common sense logical point of view. I'm just curious about like the mechanisms involved in their immune pathways. The only ones I see a lot of like bee papers, but like I said, I think it's because bees are related or kind of important insects. So that's how they're able to do this research. I drink the iced tea again. Oh, thank you for the follow, Stuffies. Oh, I get so happy seeing the follower alert. It's so cute. Since they breathe through tissue diffusion, anything can lodge in there and grow. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's like where a lot of infections can, like a lot of pathogens, like that's a big point of entry even for humans, but that's why we have so many different layers of protection. Like we have, you know, the nose is like covered in things to stop the pathogens from even getting in there. The lungs are super susceptible. I'm not familiar enough with touchscreens to give you a good answer. You know, it's okay if you don't. None of us are like super experts here. This is why whenever like I don't know the answer to something and like I always feel super disappointed, and then I'm like, I'm gonna Google it for you right now, and I'm going to like vomit the information that I found on Google for you. That's like, if you ever talk to me in person, I have like my phone in my hand and I'm like, I'm about to Google something if I don't know what's going on. From what I know, not a lot at all. They have hemolyphs, which both carries oxygen to deeper and also fights off pathogens. I guess that would make sense. It would fight off. It kind of needs to be like probably multifunctional. You kind of have to have like one thing carrying out a whole lot of steps because of how like small and simple you are. Not a whole lot of room to have things with unique functions, or you also are limited on having things that have redundancy. Like we're pretty big. We get away with a lot because we have a lot of redundancy, but we can afford that. Hello. Nice to see you. I'm not knowledgeable about anything of electronics. No, I'm not knowledgeable about anything about electronics either. We start getting into inorganic things, and I start sweating. I don't know what's going on. I'm lost. I'm clueless. I'm fearful for my life. Don't ask me what's going on with a microscope. I'll start sweating, even though we went over a microbiology textbook chapter on stream going over the history of microscopes. I'll start sweating. Again, I'm not knowledgeable at all on bug immunology. I just search up what's the blood of insects and dig that info from Google Answers. That's perfectly fine. I appreciate you being honest about that too. I think sometimes it can be frustrating. I'm pretty open about the fact that like I Google a lot of things when I'm like learning something, and I always like, even when I feel like I know something, I end up Googling it just to like double check, because sometimes I'm like, do I remember that properly? I don't know. But sometimes I get so like, it's a pet peeve of mine when people are like position themselves as experts, and I'm like, you also just Googled it. Like, you also just learned about this 2 seconds ago. You are a false prophet. Quick, what subjective lens of microscope? You have 10 seconds to answer. Autoclave me right now. I can't. Do not make me answer this. Autoclave me right now. I'm serious. Okay, I deserve this. Goodbye. And I'm back. Oh, it's so funny to see on stream. I really like it. Now that I know how to do that, the possibilities are endless. I could do anything. I could make any kind of like redeem. I need to post that on Twitter. I want to thank the VTuber who posted a tutorial on how to put something like that together. I mentioned that the tutorial she posted was for a Pokeball, and I extrapolated her information. I extrapolated the information of like her Pokeball tutorial to do an autoclave. So I'm still gonna thank her. It's 50mm for photography, I think. You know, I cannot deny or like accept that. So, you know, maybe it is. Does that mean Necoplasma is invincible to autoclaves? I know, I think it's you killed me, but you didn't kill all of me. There's another one. There's always going to be another one. But does that mean like you killed me and like I like don't have continuity? Like you killed the old me and then I just like popped up. I don't know, something to think about on the existential crisis like of Necoplasm, Nico. Are we like, maybe I'm like a hive mind with all the other Nikos? We all share one brain, and like when one dies, the other one picks up where we left off. Every time you autoclave me, I just like pick up where that last one died. Optics is an interesting topic too. Optics and like lasers, those are really, really cool. The school I was in, they had like a big optics core, and like whenever I walked by it, I was like, ooh, that's a fancy place. I don't belong there. I'm just a wee little beastie from the organics department, from the biology department. I'm too newbie to be there. I don't know anything. If you have a bunch of clones, are you truly yourself? If you're just a clone, but would that truly be you or a part of you? You broke this Nico's brain. Hope you're happy. We need a new one. We need a new one ASAP. This one can't keep going. This one's existence has to stop right now. I was thinking about like the optics and like optics department at my school. You know what the coolest people, like the coolest place was? It was like the flow cytometry department, or more like the core, because it was within the biology department. But that place was cool. It was like a huge, like so many flow cytometers just sitting there, and all like the most knowledgeable people of all time. And I would always feel like a fraud going in there. I'd be like, oh my gosh, these people know what they're doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Don't look at me. I'm just like here to use the machine. I'm putting the cells in the machine. Don't look at me. Academia is just a bunch of imposter syndrome over and over. You think like everyone knows what they're doing, but then nobody knows what they're doing. And the people who say they know what they're doing, they're just lying to you. They're lying. Nobody knows what they're doing. Lasers, I love them, especially old gas lasers for modern semiconductor lasers. Yeah, so interesting. You know, it's like the meme, like how do magnets work? That's how I feel about like lasers and stuff. It's like, man, how does that work? Or like the memes where it's like, how does wind work? That's like on the level of how do lasers work for me. How does anything work? How are we just here? How am I just here talking with you? It really is magic. It's just all magic. Maybe we can just hand wave all the knowledge requirements by saying everything is magic. We don't really have to know anything if we just say it's magic. It's reassuring to know y'all are messing with sharp objects near sight of cataclysmic death-inducing microbes. yeah, yeah. My stomach is gurgling. It's perhaps time for my dinner. Because I took a walk, ate the mochi, and that was about it. But now I should probably get a real dinner. I didn't even intend to stay here for like an hour and 30 minutes. I thought I was going to be here for 30 minutes, but talking to you guys is so fun. And just yapping on stream after being away for so long is just so nice. The back to your dinner. Girl dinner, mochi and green iced tea. You should look up synchrotrons and particle acceleration. Oh, synchrotrons are so cool. They're so huge. I knew someone. If you don't know what a synchrotron is, people who are in chat, it's like giant circular particle accelerator, and it like has charged particles just running through it until like, and it's going like the speed of light, just going pew 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 pew. It's so fascinating. You have to like, I never had to do science experiments. If you want to join the Discord and talk about it, just there. Just in case. It sounds like Kontosho wants to know more. I also want to learn more. But yeah, synchrotrons are so cool. I don't think I've never been in a facility that like had them. I think there's only a few in the United States like that have. But yeah, they're incredible. I watched a documentary where someone had to set up a synchrotron, and it was like a lot of work, and then their data was doo-doo and they were really sad. Oh, we should watch that documentary. That's a kind of a cool one. It's just like followed a bunch of PhD students and like how much they struggled to do their PhD. It was kind of like, man, that's so me. I watched that in undergrad, and then I was like, that's not gonna be me. And then I went through grad school and I was like, oh, that's me. That's me. Okay, I think I'm going to to head out. Particle accelerator sounds so fake. I know they're real, but they just sound fake. We made these super small things. Small go fast with can we can smash them together. That's the extent of my particle accelerator knowledge. You know, you're probably not. You're not wrong. It's kind of what it is like. I'm also like not an expert on these things either. It was not like the only people that use them were like. Okay, I say I studied biochemistry, but the only people who I knew that did like use the synchrotron were actual biochemists that were doing protein purification experiments. Not me. Maybe I'll join. I'm not a scientist, by the way, just a nerd. Oh, that's perfectly fine. Nerd, scientist, expertise, not, you don't need to be an expert or like official title of any kind. You like science or any kind of science topic, and we welcome you with open arms. We appreciate that here. It doesn't, to me, it doesn't matter if you're like a scientist or not. Scientist is like fake, like it's a fakety fake title anyway. It's as in like you can call yourself a scientist anytime. Okay, we're gonna wrap it up, well, so I can go get dinner. More people, more people, more people, more people. Anyway, I'm gonna try to stream tomorrow, or at the very least Thursday before I leave for the weekend for the conference. And then when I go to the conference, I'm gonna have a stream when I come back, and I'm gonna go over all the stuff I saw at the conference. That'll be exciting. Okay, I'm gonna see you guys later then. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Bye 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 bye. See you again. Bye Weetabix. Bye Kanto Show. Bye 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 bye. Okay, bye stuffies.